You're listening to the One Foot at a Time podcast, presented by Drill Right Chemical, with this episode's special guest, Brook DeNault with the Condex Corporation.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in with us today. We're on our One Foot at a Time podcast in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're at the Con Expo. It's our 5th day, and things have went extremely well. Made a lot of good relationships here, and we've got special guests today, Mr. Brook DeNault with Condex, and they're out of Wisconsin. And we're going to learn today a lot about their company, a lot about what he does there, where he's came from, what got him here where he's at, and where he's going in the future. And we look forward to this. And with that being said, welcome to the show.
I appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Hey, so tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get started in HDD?
So I got started in HDD. I spent a number of years in the Navy. I was a pilot for in MH-53s, CH-53s.
Awesome.
Was medically retired for that and was just trying to figure out work and what the rest of my life was going to look like from that point.
Right.
So I actually got started on with a very small company. They specialize in utility work. And I started as a aerial lineman. They sent me to school, and I was working with a lot of power.
Yeah.
We were working a couple of big projects, and we got them complete, and the work started to run out.
Give me a time frame. When was you in the Navy here?
I was in the Navy 2004 to 2010.
Okay.
And then...
so you've been in HDD a while now.
Yes.
What so you're with Condex now. How long have you been there?
I've been to Condex going on a year now.
Going on a year. Well, I can tell you, I haven't been up there to see you guys' facility, but I can tell you our guys were up there doing a mud school, and they have done nothing but brag about your place, your people, your everything that you've got going up there. Said you guys are just phenomenal people, phenomenal place, got a great state-of-the-art facility, and they haven't said anything but good things since they came home from that. So I'm looking forward to getting up there someday and meeting you guys and seeing with my own eyes what you guys have going there. So good job on that.
I appreciate that. I'm sure there's about 200 employees at Condex who would love to hear that. And from personal experience, been across many factories in the country. This is the only factory I've ever been to where you could literally eat off the floor and be completely fine. Like it's immaculate.
Well, you know what? That's awesome. If you can pull that off in that working environment, you're doing something.
Well,
so tell us a little bit about, what do you guys actually do? What do you sell? Who do you sell to? Give us a little background here.
So for the last 50 years, we've been an agricultural supplier for most of the major OEMs, primarily cutting surfaces, combines, things like that.
Okay. About
15 years ago, we started incorporating a technology called laser cladding. What laser cladding is it's a modern type of hard facing. And in the agricultural industry, it extended the life of the cutting blades while maintaining the efficiency of it. So people were getting getting more production out of their crops,
right?
Cleaner cuts, and we'll be able to make it through the entire season without having to change something out. So
okay, so you said laser cladding. And that's, I'm familiar with tooling, I'm familiar with reamers, things like that, bits. Explain to me what laser cladding is, because I'm not familiar with that term.
So laser cladding is a modern type of hard facing. Are you familiar with hard facing?
Oh yeah, for sure. We used to hard face all of our reamers and bits and everything, so they'd last a little longer.
Exactly. So whenever you're hard facing, you're actually not increasing the wear life of the tool or protecting the tool. You're actually creating voids and porous surfaces in there. You're introducing slag into the base material. What laser cladding is we take a high precision laser and we apply it to the base material of the metal, and we create a melt pool.
Right.
Solid, uniform, everything's homogeneous. And then we add carbide powder to it and infuse the entire mixture in there. So once you have... once that whole process is complete, you have a solid piece of carbide, very fine, evenly dispersed across the entire thing. You don't have any voids, you don't have any cracks. And then the heat affected zone, because the laser itself isn't actually heating the material, it's moving the particles inside of the metal in that very specific spot. You have a minimal heat affected zone.
So have you seen that it extends the life, a percentage, or Have you guys done very much in the field? I mean, I'm sure it does, or you wouldn't be in business.
So what we are noticing and what we're reporting, and the paper is, the numbers on paper are definitely supporting this, is we're seeing a 4 to 6 times amount of life off the product.
Oh,
We've had, in some of the more cobbly areas, like we talk about the Great Lakes area of Wisconsin, where you have a lot of those glacier rocks. In Montana specifically, we had a local contractor up there. He was in some rough surface up there, and he was using some of the competitors' products, some of the OEM products, and he was averaging about 400 to 500 feet before he had to place out the part. We switched him over to our system, and he immediately started averaging 1,200 to 2,000 feet before he was having to replace it out, which...
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, in our industry, too, for a lot of the drillers out there who haven't been in that type of condition, that doesn't sound like a lot of footage, but when we're talking large cobble, just constantly grinding on something, is phenomenal.
Well, you know, I mean, I've been on big projects where they're doing, you know, even the maxi rig market where they're cutting these tools, and I mean, they're getting, you know, 4 or 5 rods and pulling them out of the ground and having to rebuild them. So, you know, there has to be a big demand for that.
Yep.
Because tripping out of the hole, you're not making money tripping out to fix something. So the longer you can stay down in the hole, it's better for the bottom line.
Yep, absolutely.
So what have you been most proud of in your career? Because you've had a great career. I've talked to the guys about you. They all speak very highly of you. I think you're just, you know, doing phenomenal stuff. But what have you been most proud of?
So what I really fell in love with in this industry, and I don't know that there's a specific moment, but there's been plenty of times, like when a blizzard has come into town or there's been a hurricane, and for whatever reason, or another contractor has been out in the field and the locates weren't right, or any number of things, and they happen to take out a gas line service, or they happen to take out a power, and that whole neighborhood goes down. I've always been very proud that I've been able to mobilize crews, whether it was crews that I was managing at some point in time or when I was actually out in the field doing the work, of being able to get it done in a timely manner. And sometimes it would take just a matter of hours, where it would take other companies a matter of weeks. I spent a lot of my time when I was coming up in the industry doing a lot of bid work and doing the jobs that none of the other contractors wanted to do.
Well, you make more money that way, that's for sure.
You definitely do, but you also gain a lot of skills doing it that way.
You know, I can relate to that a lot, because there's been several projects that we've got invited to that has been tried by 4, 5, 6 contractors. As a matter of fact, it was at dinner with a guy last night, and, you know, they was on a project for a major pipeline, and when they got there and got started, they was like, well, good luck on this. You know, we're probably going to have a lot of trouble keeping flow. And it's been tried by 4 other contractors, and he was like, well, that might have been good to know before I took the project, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they couldn't keep flow and never could complete the bore. And he said by, you know, using the technology that we've brought to the table, that they were able to successfully complete that bore and was able to maintain flow the whole time. So when you put things in place like that and it happens, it feels good. And you know, just being able to make things happen when other people, you know, are backing away from it, says a lot, I think.
It's phenomenal, and a lot of drillers around the country, especially some of the training, they don't understand how important your mud mixture is. Well, or your chemical setup.
We're proud of it, and I appreciate you saying that. But we're trying to build relationships. That's what we're doing with you. That's what we're doing with everybody else that we meet in this industry, and we just want to, you know, leverage off each other, help us all grow, and, you know, introduce each other to the right people. And you know, there's always somebody that can use your service, and it's just a matter of getting your word out there, getting your name, getting the name of the company, you know, let them know what's available. And that's what we're wanting to do today. You know, what all kind of products do you guys carry?
Currently, we're focused on the cutting edge of most of the tool and running the pilot bore systems.
Okay.
We currently have our flagship product is our cobble system, and it's a standard spline system. We have it in 2 1/8 inch spline and 2 1/2 inch spline. We range anywhere from 2 3/4 inch diameter housing all the way up to 3 1/2.
Okay.
And then we currently have our standard dirt housings with the same laser clad technology. We were running, that one came out this year. We've already put 180,000 feet on a single housing out in Texas in mixed conditions. So
is that like you've got dirt and rock setups as well? Okay.
Yep. Our catalog is still on the smaller side, but we're actively engaging it. And what we're trying to do is we're really focusing on bringing the tooling that the contractor needs.
Okay.
We're not trying to bring a swivel and be another guy for every single product. We're trying to find where the drillers are struggling, reaching out to them, reaching out to our distributors, and trying to custom make and custom engineer a tool that will be the most impactful in every area that it's operating.
Yeah. You've been around the HDD world for a while now. Can you think of what your toughest day out on a project or a certain thing? What comes to mind when you think of a toughest day?
The toughest day is any time that you break a weld or anything underground. There was one time I was doing some gas work, and we were going between a fence line in a downtown region, and there was no way to get an excavator in there or even the hydrovac in there to excavate the tool from where it broke out.
Right.
And it broke in, I want to say, about 10 rods into the bore, but there was no way to get at it from where the drill was set up. And so we had to hand dig down to it, and then we had to hook up a come along and hand ratchet every rod
to be able to retrieve it.
Able to retrieve it. So that was probably a really rough day.
Well, and that's a huge challenge in this industry because we've seen a lot of guys. They'll break a cone or break even their rods, whatever, and then they have to go try to fish it out. And sometimes you can successfully fish them out, and sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
I've seen guys use high-powered magnets. I've seen them go in with fishing tools. This whole industry's been made up of, somebody inventing the next tool that works,
Yep, exactly.
And we got... tell us about this bit that Anthony's showing us here.
So this is our cobble bit. This was the first product that we came out to the line. We brought it out at the same time we brought out our spline housing. And so as you can see here, all this silver material, that is the actual laser cladding.
Okay.
You said that you've done a lot of welding, so if you want to take a look at it
up close.
Well, I haven't done a lot of welding. I've had a lot of welding done by professionals. So
what you're going to see here is you're going to see a lot of smooth passes from the laser, and each one, if you actually feel it, it's got a little bit of a rough texture to it, but it's not super hang. And what we've noticed with this too, with this special technology, is that when you're not creating those voids and you're not creating that buildup, you're actually having a better a balanced tool. So even at the rotational mass side of it, when this is spinning in the ground, you don't have that weight imbalance across the tooling. So what we've noticed a lot on this specific product is that when they're getting further down the hole, they're at that 450 feet, they're getting ready to start making their climb up. They're still getting great steerability down there, downhole. And so what we've also noticed is that even that far out, they're not catching that same rod wrap from those expansive clays or everything like that, because everything is staying pretty centered and being efficient inside that hole as well.
So this laser cladding here, does it wear off? Is it something that wears off, or is it embedded into the metal?
It is completely embedded into the metal.
Okay.
Obviously, it is going to wear out just like everything else does.
Of course.
The ground is always going to win, as any trainer.
But it's not like going to chip off or anything.
No, it's not going to chip off. It is actually molecularly bonded to the material.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you're not going to come through and rip off a big chunk of it. It's going to slowly wear down. You'll actually see the parts that aren't laser cladding over time. You'll actually start seeing that come down, and you'll start seeing the laser cladding protrude more and more out.
Man, that's great. I mean, that's something I've been in this industry my whole life, and that's something I didn't know anything about. So I appreciate you sharing that, because there's a lot more people out there that haven't been introduced to that part of it either.
What's crazy about it, I'll just edit this out. When Chad was telling me about it, he said just what he said, that the tool wears out before the harvest. Which, when have you ever heard of that? Like the bit's wearing out around the laser cladding, and that what's in essence their hard facing is staying in place better than the steel.
Yep.
Which is nuts.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yes, and that's specifically because we're not adding new material to it. We're taking the existing material and then adding the carbides into it. We're embedding them into the base material instead of trying to throw a little bit of extra material or having dissimilar metals together. A lot of the times, especially when you start creating heat, even with your welds and things like that, you're running two dissimilar metals, very similar to, if you're familiar with what thermocouple is.
Yes.
Is when they start activating at different temperatures and things like that, then you get the negative reactions, and we don't have that effect with this type of technology.
Well, it's amazing technology for sure. I look forward to seeing how it works in the field and seeing it with my own eyes, because that's something I have not taken the time to educate myself on and learn more about it. So that's really been eye-opening for me. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
You were in the Navy, then you got out, you got into HDD. What got you into sales? Because not just everybody's a salesperson. You seem like you've got it. So how did you find it that you were actually that guy?
So after I'd been in the HDD, actually drilling, locating, doing every position on the crew, and learning how the crew was supposed to operate, doing it the right way every time,
right?
Not doing whatever would get by, but the right way. And one of my old bosses used to have a phrase. He said, "Stop trying to save me money." Like a $7 bag of bentonite or putting in the right amount of chemicals to do this job will actually save me more money than something going wrong and having to redo it. So having done that for a number of years, I got into the management side of it. And so I was approached by Quanta Services and the Mayor's Group to start running some of their crews across some of their projects.
That's awesome. They're a really big outfit.
And then as I was on the project management and the construction management side of it, procurement became the number one issue what I was doing, make sure that the crews were being efficient, making sure that I had the right products for the right job. And when you're traveling all over the country, the products that I need in Oklahoma are very different than the products that I need in Pennsylvania.
Right.
Those hard rock formations or even Utah or anything like that.
Yep.
My flatbed over here isn't necessarily the right tool for up there, and you got an experienced driller, you got an experienced crew that can make it work, but it's going to take about 5 times longer, and I'm going to be going through bits and housings and everything considerably more. So then I started looking around and seeing what kind of technologies are out there, who was offering them, and then my passion really became making sure that I could benefit the industry in such a way that everybody becomes more profitable, everybody becomes more
just efficient, all around efficient.
More efficient all around. And then, like, one of my biggest pet peeves, being in this industry for so long, is when I was doing gas or electric work, all of the homeowners, all of the people who were going to be receiving the services were always super happy to let me in and do whatever I needed to do.
Right.
When I was doing telecommunications,
not so much.
It was a fight every time. Everybody's like, "Oh, I don't want this service," or "I'm not going to have this service." That's great.
Yeah.
You don't have to get it, but I still have to install it through here. And so providing a product that would make it easier for the drillers to get through that area, make it more efficient, have them on site for short amounts of time to ease that. I mean, it really helps the industry out and helps the general public.
Oh, it's unbelievable how mad some of these homeowners get. And I mean, they'll come out, and we had a guy come out with a baseball bat in Louisville, Kentucky when we was installing cable TV up there one time. He said we was not coming through his yard. It's like, okay, maybe we need to get somebody else involved here.
There's been a gun pulled once or twice trying to go through somebody's rear easement of their house. It's crazy.
It is. It gets insane out there sometimes. And we all have to deal with it when the time comes up, and hope that nothing catastrophic happens.
And I mean, there's enough that can go wrong on the job site besides an angry customer. And
Yeah.
like that. Like it's just, if it's not the tooling that's going to break, it's the machine that's going to break down, or it's going to be one of the support equipment. And before you know it, it just all starts snowballing down. So finding different solutions for the contractors, for the end users, that just makes the process easier for everybody that they can trust, and maybe they can actually make a little bit of money on some of these jobs. You know as well as I do that different areas of the country pay more than others.
Oh yeah.
There's some areas, especially if you're new to the industry and you're a sub of a sub of a sub, you can't afford to be going through new housing or a new tool blade every week. You need
we deal with that every day as well. I mean, there'll be guys in clay, and they'll be running a fluted reamer, and I'll be like, well, you're really not running the right reamer for this project.
Really
and he's
need
like,
or a beaver tail or something.
Yeah, and he's like, well, that's all we've got. We got to make it work. I'm thinking, well, you got 20,000 feet left here. You're going to struggle if you don't change up your game here just a little.
Yep.
But that's just part of the industry. Some people are willing to change, and some people are not. What Condex products that you're selling out there? Which ones do you? What's your main product that you sell people?
Primarily right now, because we're based out of Elmira, Wisconsin, and the type of work that we're doing in that glacial rock, our primary product has been the spline housing and the cobble bit. Earlier last year, 2025, we released the flatbed housing. Because the company was less experienced in the industry, they thought that the market for the spline system was larger than it was, and it's a little bit more of a specialty product.
Right.
Obviously, as time has gone by, we're getting more and more into it. That's literally why they brought me on, really, is because of my experience in the field and who I've been, the connections that I made throughout my career. And so now, within the next year or so, we're going to be doubling our catalog size and bringing out the right products for the.
Well,
right
you're out
clients.
here at the trade show. I mean, you're at one of the biggest trade shows in the country. I mean, that goes on for this industry. And how has it been for you since you guys have been here? It looks like you've had a lot of traffic down there. Your booth looks great. And how's it been?
It's been fantastic. We're getting a lot of interest on the products. The markets that we've been penetrating, and we're starting to get penetration in every state of the country. A lot of the people that we've had are already using our product, and they're specifically reaching us out, telling us how we've saved their company or we made it so much efficient. We've had guys guys come out of Palm Beach in Florida and Miami and those areas where you got that heavy coral.
Right.
And they took our cobble bit and didn't think it was going to work, but might as well try. And they were having jobs that would take them 8 hours to try to get through with their standard flat bits, and they're knocking them out in half the time, like 4 hours, stuff like that.
That's
they
good.
Said that we've taken the stress out of a lot of the projects that they're doing, and now they know that they're going to get through it.
So that being a cobble bit, it's not just for cobble. You can use it in rock. Can you use it in like other rock, or is it just sand?
You can use it in rock. It's running in Coquita right now. It's running in the coral out in Florida. It's doing great in the decomposed gravel out in Colorado at the moment. And so it definitely has a lot of applications. And the number one thing that we hear from a lot of the users of it right now is that it steers phenomenally. Like, a lot of the time when I was drilling, if I got into a rough formation that my normal flat bit wasn't getting through, or I was just struggling for it, I would switch over to a rock head, and knowing that, I knew I was going to get through the material, but I was going to sacrifice some of my steering.
Right.
And in this situation, everybody's telling us that we're not. Like, it's actually maintaining its pitch, and then when they switch over to they get into clay or dirt ground, they're just leaving it on because they're getting the same level of steering off of it.
That's good for us to know, though, because we get calls every day from people normally having trouble, and they'll reach out to us because they think because they're having trouble in the ground that the drilling, the fluid products is just going to miraculously get them through the ground faster. And a lot of, sometimes that's the case, but a lot of times it's because of the bit they have on. So it's good to know that that's available, because I haven't been real familiar with the cobble bit. So
well, I
just assumed it was only in cobble.
It runs in a lot of varied conditions, and we call it our mixed soil bit. But it's very similar to the standard steer plates. Like, you have your complete square front, no carbides, and that works great in sugar sand. But then you get into like a lot of places in the Midwest and our are corn built, and then you're kind of going for like a mild taper, aggressive at the front, and nothing on the sides, and it gets through that clay a little bit better. So just that's why there's such a large market of bits across.
Well, I'm going to make it a point. I want to go see one of these bits work, because if it's that versatile, I want to see it work myself, because I see the problem all the time, and if that one bit could maybe make a difference in a lot of our customers, that are struggling, I'd like to be able to introduce it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. You find me a driller that's having a problem, and I'll get a free product out to them, and we'll go out and see how it goes.
Perfect, man. We'll start, because I want to see it myself. I really do. I want to get out there, maybe meet you on a job site somewhere, and maybe we can, introduce our fluids and your bits at the same time and see what happens.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Some difficult phrasing right there.
Refer to that as a secret.
As what?
Secret weapon.
Secret weapon, yeah.
A little secret weapon. Pretty good.
I'm not going to say that it's the silver bullet for every condition. Sure. There's obviously going to be some grounds that it's not the right bit for.
No doubt.
But it's definitely opening up the arsenal across more environments than a lot of the other products. And then with just the laser cladding, it's lasting and it's staying in the game longer.
So do you think that this bit has a great future in HDD? Like it's gaining ground?
Not only the bit, but the technology itself. We're starting to see some of the major OEMs work on doing adding laser cladding to some of the products, including some of the aftermarkets. And I think it's only a matter of time now that it's not the new player in the game, but it's going to become the standard. And so we want to make sure that we're getting out ahead of this and letting everybody know that we were the first in the industry to introduce that technology to it, and we do it better than anybody else at the moment.
Well, and I'm sure, as time goes on, you're going to find other products that are being sold and used out in the industry that could use this laser cladding on them. So, I think you maybe even just be on the tip of the iceberg here, and, because it's, I've been around this industry a long time, and I've never seen what you just showed me, so that tells me that it's not something that's well versed in our industry right now. So the more that can get out there, coming out to these trade shows, getting out in the field, word of mouth travels faster than anything. So
absolutely
looking forward to it.
One of the things I used to always tell my guys out in the field, and kind of a philosophy of mine, is complacency kills.
Oh, yeah.
We get so used to doing the same thing every time that when stuff starts going wrong, sometimes we need to try something new. And innovation is what's going to make this industry, your side, my side, and as a whole, is going to keep moving us forward. So,
absolutely. We always ask people on here, one thing we try to promote is we even have, like, on our website, we have, online training, free online training for guys that are new to the business, and come and pass our mud test, and they'll get a certification and, learn a little bit. So we think that, the younger people coming up, new people getting started in this industry is critical to the future of this industry. What is some advice you could give to somebody that may be on the teeter-tottering back and forth about whether they want to jump into this industry or not? Run for the hills?
Yeah, run for the hills. I would say it is, when times are good, the times are good. When things get hard, they get hard. Like, some of my best days have been out in the field doing HDD, and some of my definite worst times have been out there doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing like working a project in the middle of the winter because something has to get done. It's 25 degrees outside, or you're in a tent in Montana somewhere trying to get something done, and next thing you know, you have to jump into a puddle of water or mud mixture trying to get tooling hooked up or something like that, because that job has to get done. It needed to be done 2 hours ago, but you're running behind, and it's got to be done before you can leave.
Well, I feel like anybody can shine in good times, but it takes, the best ones are the ones that can shine in the bad times as well. So
exactly. I think the best thing that if somebody is new to the industry is learn everything that you can. I think a lot of our people in the industry, and I'm sure you've seen it too, you find an operator or locator, and they've been on it for all of 2 weeks, and they think the best driller or locator that's ever walked the planet
for
of the
sure.
Earth.
Well, we all think that.
We all think that. It's a great thing. The confidence is fantastic, but I mean, every job that you go to, you might be doing the same procedures, but every job is different, and
it is.
The condition changes every time. So learn where you can, and if you keep at it long enough, you learn how to be efficient, and you kind of avoid the vices that come with the industry.
Yeah.
There's nothing but upward trajectory in any career path here. So,
well, I believe that too. I think, and I've told a lot of young guys that's friends of my kids and the young people that I run into. I think there is so much opportunity here because people are starving for good people to get involved with their company, and you can really grow to the top fast right now. I mean, it's probably the best I've seen it in my lifetime, that a guy could start today and work his way to the top in a record pace time.
Absolutely. If you're great at this, and this is one of the few trades that doesn't require a trade school. This is almost a complete OJT type trade, and so if you're willing to put in the work and learn from it, it's like you almost have zero investment to get into the industry. They're always expecting somebody. You might be running a shovel for the first couple of years doing it, but if you're a hard worker and you appear knowledgeable, they're going to move you up to the next position, and before long, you'll be running the company, or they'll have you watching over other crews.
You're exactly right. Well, if somebody wants to reach out and check out your products, tell them where they could do this at.
We're online. You can go to Condex.com, and you'll see some of our agricultural products, or you can click that link that says the Drill Defender, and that'll bring you directly into the HDD line.
So that's at Condex.com.
Condex.com. If they want to see more about the products or anything like that, we've got some great partners with the Drillworks team, AIS, Galloway Group. I think all are also vendors for your products as well. And, But yeah, and then if they reach out to any of them, they'll tell you drillers who are running my product in those environments and what their opinions are of it. Because I can sit here and try to sell you my product all day long, but you'd probably rather hear it from somebody who's actually using it in the field right now. So
hey, you know what? If it works, it works, and if it works right, it sells itself.
Exactly.
You get out there and do a demo, and it's doing exactly what it's designed to do. And it's not what everybody, if they've struggled on something and all of a sudden yours works, I mean, it speaks for itself. So, I look forward to learning a lot more about your company, a lot more about your tooling, and getting to know you a lot better.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, we'll see you on the road somewhere.